Hello.
He's a fatty. Whew. Oh yeah. All right. Look at that. Got him on the outside of the nose. I felt a little bump. See how that fish is caught on the outside of the nose like that? I felt that fish bump that bait. Sometimes they'll go up and bump it with their beaks. And if you've got a good sensitive rod like this All Pro right here, it makes catching these fish a lot easier this time of year. These are the kind we catch during my fishing classes. I feel a big head shake down there. Woo! Yeah! Look at him. That's a fat one. Oh, look at the weight. Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. Oh, look at that. Another one on a swim bait, just dead sticking it on the bottom. One of the great techniques that we use in the early spring to catch these nice pre-spawn smallmouth. Get them back in there, get another one.
Across the anchor line. Not real long, but the belly, the fatness. What'd you say? What? Oh, look at the oinker. He's probably 14 and a half, but a chunk. See a chunk? I'm fishing the Purple What's It, Confidence Baits Purple What's It on a dragon head. That's the 1/4 ounce dragon head. We're throwing them up into these ledge trenches. Juan's got the swim bait thing going, but it's the same kind of profile. It's a bait fish profile, and these fish are you know, people think of smallmouth as one of the best predators out there, but they're also scavengers, and we're letting it out there and feeling it get down to the bottom of that trench and just letting it sit there. And you know, the biggest one so far is 19 inches, and it had been sitting there for 45 seconds. So this is nothing new, but it's just such an effective presentation that both of us, I know Juan in his classes teaches dead sticking, and sometimes it takes somebody really talking you through it and telling you, no, really don't move the bait, let it sit there like it is bait, like it's alive, you know, or dead minnow in this case. Let it sit. They'll find it. They'll see that little glimmer on the bottom, that little fleck, and say, yep, that's an injured minnow, and I'm gonna gobble it up while I can.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a good one. Look at him. He's got to go. I think he's getting 20. Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at that.
Lifting it up by that line.
Hey, I trust my line, man. I want to lose a rod in the process here. Another really nice fat fish. One of the things we've done here is we've really isolated a spot on this big river, and that's really one of the things I focus on in my classes. Not only paddling technique to be able to hold position on fish in a river in a moving water environment, but actually honing down the water, paring down the water so that you're fishing not only the spot, but the spot on the spot. And that's actually what we're doing here today. We've got a lot of guys on the water. We're able to find the spot on the spot, and so we're on the fish. Oh shit. Look at the head on that sucker. Oh man. Another big one. I just released one that was about 20. This one's a nice one. He's 19 plus. The boat. Over the paddle. Whew. Nice. Again, we're here in this wintering pool, and we've isolated a really nice spot. We got some deep water. We've got really slow current. And those fish are just kind of stacked up in there right now. They're really not feeding aggressively. We're dead sticking, and it's working. Just one of the techniques that I teach in my class. Let's see his mouth. This is getting good.
This is tough with all that wind, being able to feel the bite. Start moving with it. So when the wind gets up, you really, you know, yeah, you got to feel the bite, you got to pay attention, keep your line taut, but you also have to be watching your line. That's why we use the bright yellow braided line. That really helped me catch this one, is being a line watcher and paying attention to what it feels like.
Holy cow. It's getting under the boat. Boy, that sucker doesn't want to come up. There we go. Woo! Man. He was a horse. Ah, quick release. Quick release. During my classes that I teach, my guided kayak fishing classes, we have a lot of fun. I think number one, we try to teach a lot on the river though. Some of the things that we teach I teach are paddling skills, you know, forward, backwards, traversing rapids and so forth. I teach how to position your boat on fish like we're doing right here to stay on top of the fish instead of just drifting with the current. I always say you've got to be a really active paddler. You have to take control of your boat, and that's what I teach in my class, taking control of your boat. And then along with other little details of things that really are applicable to fishing. He's a horse. Oh yeah. Fish, good fish. Good fish. Oh yeah, look at the fish. Look at that. It's got black specks all over him. Look at those black specks on him. Wow, it's like a calico. It's like a calico bass. Look at that thing. Huh. I don't know if that's the pigment or if that's mud underneath the scales. Sometimes when they're on the bottom of the, you know, mud bottoms, they'll get some mud up underneath the scales. That looks like pigment there though. Huh. That's interesting. Awesome fish. Awesome fish. Look at that thing. Beautiful. I'm not going to sniff it like you do, okay, Jeff? I'm not going to kiss it or anything.
They smell.
Nope. Not going to do it. All right, buddy.
Some people kiss fish. I sniff them.
He's a good one. Man, he's putting pressure on. Smallmouth guru rod is handling. Oh, look at this fish. This is a nice one. I didn't bring my net. We're gonna have to put. We're just gonna have to. Oh, try not to give him any slack. He's a good fish. This is a long one. Whoa. Whew. We're gonna have to get a measurement on him. Nice. Nice fish. Again, just dead stick in that swim bait. This is a swim bait by Winko's Custom Lure. It's actually a Days color. It was a custom color that I had him make me about 3 years ago. And now he's put it into production so anybody can get it. But it's a really common kind of minnow in rivers in the Northeast in particular. Nice fish. Look at that fish. Oh my gosh. That is a nice one. Whew. Yeah.
So many of them like this. Oh, this is nice. Again and again and again. One after the other. God, I love the end of winter. They just get so riled up. They want to eat and eat and eat, get strong so they can make more, so they can spawn. Right. Go eat.
Oh yeah, he's a good one. Look at this. Look at the color on this one. You see those bars? We're kind of on a roll here. Jeff catches 2 in a row, then I catch 2 in a row. We grab the camera and go from there. Not too shabby.
That one feels better than most we've caught today. We got a lot of 17 inchers today. That one's bigger than 17. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh. That's when you put a net on, but I didn't bring my net today. I've sort of been out of the habit of smallmouth fishing. Been on the Chesapeake Bay a bunch. this winter catching striped bass instead. My net is in my garage. Oh, aren't you pretty? Aren't you gorgeous? Piggly wiggly. Oh yes.
Another fish. Another fish. Woo! We are just slamming them today. This is great. This is pretty much textbook spring fishing right here.
Today on the river with Juan was just a phenomenal day. Lots of 17 and 18 inch fish. We got 3 of them 19 inches or better. I think Juan had one that was right at 20, and it's typical for that very late winter. Really, it's early spring, because we're starting to see, you know, buds on trees, and things are just starting to green up a little bit. And these fish that have been pent up in the winter holes all winter long, they've been in these sorts of positions. This is this is a huge winter hole, and you know, this whole area is protected. They move from these central parts of the winter hole where they can hang out all winter long and not have to worry about much in the way of current. And they move from these midwinter spots up to the edges, really the perimeter of the winter hole. Sometimes they push up into the rapids right up at the top, and they'll also push down. You know, we caught some down just immediately below where the water speeds up, and the first ledges that you encounter right below. But these fish are certainly, you know, pushed right up at the top, getting ready to, they're antsy. They want to get up to their spawning habitat. Like, they'll move up to these bigger ledges up above, and they'll be spawning there. Not really anytime soon, but they make that move fairly soon. They'll move up into these tributaries at the ends of the islands. You know, areas that are too shallow for them to hang out in winter. But as soon as they can make the move, they're up there. You know, they're feasting, and they're getting ready. They're getting full belly so they can make the run up to their spawning habitat. Absolutely love this time of year.